House of Cards. Uh, Tonight this is a follow-up scene from the council scene where Michael is now a newly appointed magician of the council, and he's now poised to investigate the ramifications and the effects of the wall. But the problem is, no one can. The only person that knows anything about the wall is he doesn't know that this person knows any significance about the wall until now, because that person is coming to him at the observatory. And this is where we set up where we're at in the scene.
Michael will probably be back in one of the study rooms again when Charlie comes back and sees him in the back room. He's probably just fiddling around on a tablet where he's
Charlie will come over and ask, excuse me, do you have a second?
Put down the tablet and just kind of push it to go into sleep and stuff. So yeah, what do you need?
I was actually at the council when you got appointed magician, and I would assume you're probably going to start investigating the wall.
Yeah, I was planning on doing that as soon as I could. I was planning to speak with a couple people, but if you have information, I'd be glad to hear.
Yes, me and my Lady Zhu actually described it as a wave sentai. Well, me and another member of ours and her actually found out about a lot about it, and we haven't even gone near it. So far, what we found out, it's connected to a rogue weaver spirit that's on the mainland somewhere. And right now, as far as we know, our scouts her SEP scouts, or should I say seer, actually sent her own scouts to the wall, and none of them reported back.
What kind of scouts did they send?
Her spiders.
Like spirits? Yes, kind of curiously. Unsure.
Well, kind of. They're a part of her. Him. They. He looks confused.
Yeah. Michael just like puzzled completely. Okay.
Then we found out through her. They isn't. I was told is an easy descriptor for the seer. We can send mortal mundane agents to scout out the wall. They have no ill effect, except they are uncomfortable when they cross it.
Do we know what makes up this wall and what planes of existence it's in? Is it in all of them?
So far as we know, it's in the spirit and the twirling.
But we don't know what makes this up. If it is like of the same substance that separates the spirit world from the Tellurian.
Yeah, and I'm thinking it's either it's connected to this rogue Reaver spirit on the mainland, or this rogue Reaver spirit is actually the source of the wall. Because it's actually, from what our sources have told us, it's actually causing disbelief in dragons specifically.
Do
as
we have
well.
a name of this? Do we have the name of this spirit?
Dragon Slayer.
And that is its true name?
That's what I know of. What it is for right now. All we know is it was a wild spirit that turned Weaver.
That's troubling.
Yeah.
Do we know what is responsible for its change?
Not as of yet, but also this wall is actually even cutting off any of our means of travel from our local place of power to the mainland.
Even in the Tellurian?
Not in the Trillion, as far as I know, but my kind does not usually tend to use airplanes.
Right.
Or public transportation to get around.
It complicates things.
Yeah. But our ways of transportation, it's cutting us off from the mainland.
So in the Umbra, it is completely impassable.
Kind of. We have another route we can take by our means. It's just very, very long.
I see.
It's just like wherever we have a direct connection to the mainland, it's cut off. If you want to go around like on a big arc, or go try and get it around it in any other way, it's not cutting you off.
And this spirit, that's the only thing that we know is causing it?
As far as we can tell, yes. It's by our sources, it's been described as a leftover entity of an old enemy of ours. But oddly enough, it's having a stasis effect instead of a death effect.
And it has been corrupted by the Weaver.
Yeah. From what I could tell, because of the very, very big shift from Wild to Weaver.
This is a little. This is unfortunately for myself, spirit realm, but my magical abilities don't exactly cover much for dealing with spirits.
We as a society can, but
I do have a friend.
All right.
A friend of mine, Jason, is able to detect something. His powers with the spirit sphere cover enough to be able to talk to them and command them.
All right. I know my kind will have natural ways of dealing with the spirits. It's just problematic trying to get over there to deal with it. we have forces pushing down, pushing their way in from Nepal. It's just going to take some time to set up a power base where we can. It will be connected to our detoured route. But then again, it's going to even then it's still going to take us some time to get a sizable force out there to try and take it down, or get it to where it will stop doing what it's doing.
So we have coming up from Nepal to assist, and maybe we can pinch this force and make it go away.
Yeah.
And he'll make a motion on the table, like a pincer maneuver, and
pincer move the spirit if we can breach the wall from our end.
Yes, it would be foolish of us to attack it where it's at its strongest. It might be best to wait until assist arrives. And it can't defend both points. It's got to focus on one.
Yeah. Me and my Sentai have actually started garnering support with some very local, powerful spirits that could probably help us
I see.
in that
Very,
endeavor as well. Only issue is trying to get to it on this end, so we don't leave the forces hanging for coming in from Nepal.
Mm-hmm. I'm hoping to be able to go to the spirit realm soon myself and see if I can, with my magics, detect what might make up this wall. And I hope maybe that there's a changeling I know that might be able to help me see it from their end and see how it affects their realm.
Nice.
Power it has over them.
What I know of changelings, and if this is a stasis effect wall that's going on, and it's causing if it's the entity that's causing disbelief in dragons specifically, but it's causing disbelief in general, it's going to be causing a very bad effect on them.
Yeah, the best thing to do, if what is giving this wall its spiritual power, is to foster belief, but not the shade or the veil or whatever have you. It's a dangerous line to walk. The options that we're going to have to take.
Yeah, I'm working with my Sentai brother, trying to figure out if there's possible means either to place implosive charges in the Umbra or in the Dark Umbra to either to possibly try and implode it to where it will cause a drop in the spiritual energy in the area where the physical in the physical world it'll start destroying the physical wall counterpart.
Mm-hmm.
It's just
that would be a good start.
Yeah,
I will see if I can get my associate, perhaps, if it is, you said, is it a spiritual bomb, you said?
Yes, it's just trying to
a
figure out.
Regular explosive device.
It's a spiritual charges. One-time use items of power.
Hmm.
The only problem
maybe,
is. Go ahead.
Maybe keep us apprised of what you're doing. We may be able to, me and my, what's the term, He's of my order, but I don't believe that we have made up a cabal yet. He might be able to assist with that. Like I said, he knows spirit magic better than I do, and we may be able to infuse it with. And
That'd probably be helpful considering we're having trouble figuring out what spirits that we where we can petition to empower these one-time use items of power to cause a implosion. We figured we have gotten as far as figuring out it should be an implosive device just in case. Because the one spirits I was thinking of that could do it were wild, but that's more chaotic, unbridled birth energy, and you don't want to throw that out into a say a city street or a city populated area.
right.
Especially on the umbral side of things.
I think, from what I understand of the changelings and what limited I've been told, since they are the masters of getting them to assist in delivering, one's imagination might be the best avenue to take on dealing with the disc that seems to be fueling it.
That's one thing we're already considering about doing. We've already informed the Duchess of House, the local chapter of House Fiona, and alerting
Good.
her to the alerting her people to the situation. And I think she's already trying to get set up in the works to try and get belief going again. It's just she might need help.
Mm-hmm. This does have a physical reality, but does not have a physical manifestation. Correct?
So as far as we know, we haven't actually gone near the area to try and find out. Like I said, our seer has been sent agents, well, her own spiders that are connected to her. They still looking confused. She sent them, and they haven't come back. Pretty much anybody connected to the Umbra, like anybody of supernatural persuasion, is affected. But any mundane, like humans with supernatural blood in them, it does not work. It just makes them uncomfortable.
So no physical component, just it's however supernaturals and make them unable to cross. That is a very powerful warding spell.
Yeah. We have not. We've sent. They've sent other scouts that also have not reported back yet. Yeah, though that group was kind of stupid. Go ahead.
I wonder if, since it seems to, I'm not sure because you said the scouts have not returned. I wonder how it impairs them, because possibly I could put a mind effect over them, and if it affects their senses or tries to affect by confusing or fuddling their ability to perceive reality, perhaps that might deal with the effect of the Tellurian. I don't know about the other realms. May actually have a physical manifestation there. But that might
might
be
work.
something to try.
One thing is, the Hingokai Seer is not chancing another attempt with their spiders. We're, as far as we know, only mortal, supernatural blooded people can even go near it. First scouting party from the Hingokai Sept that I heard that went, and it was kind of stupid, went straight headlong into it. And they still haven't reported back yet.
Yeah, I completely lost that.
He said the FIRA actually had sent an original scouting party, and the scouting party was kind of stupid, or either struck stupid, and they went headlong straight into the wall. And still hasn't reported back.
We need more information, but it seems very dangerous to try and gather it.
Yeah. At least for us.
Do we have any mortal contacts? Someone who about if there's a physical element in the Tellurian, or if there's a means to cross for them, or what have you, if they can report back what's on the other.
I can check
might
around
be assisting in this.
I can check around check with my regional alpha and see if we have any people. But after the apocalypse, we're very limited in number.
I see. I can understand that completely. As I've said before, I've assisted Guru and been indirectly entangled in that war. I understand what resources it takes for that.
Supposedly, we took out all the heads, and the Hingokai talked about, in their terms, the Ebon Serpent, and I was like, oh shit. There's leftovers we hadn't seen.
He seems to think for a minute. It's like, in thinking of a way to help clear their minds and think maybe outside the box, he's like, he pauses for a minute and then gestures to a board on one of the tables. He's like, chess.
Sure.
Well, seeing as you're the guest, white or black?
Black.
Okay. 1 second here. I'm going to stop the screen share so I can switch it out. 1 second here. Because this is going to be fun. Bam!
The mage skin dancer versus the purebred theurge.
Pawn to e4. To help you with the board here, I mean, A, B, C, D, E, F, G, H, and 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Because for some reason it decided it doesn't want to list along the side of the board like any common sense game system would.
Yeah.
Or just tell me which pawn based on where its position is, and that might be easy for you.
The pawn in front of the queen to the third spot.
There?
Yeah.
Okay. Knight to c3.
Take your pawn.
Knight will take pawn.
Bishop to the right, next to the one next to the queen.
The white bishop, where do you want it?
Sure. I want to try and get it to where it's not in range yet. To the first square outside the pawn line on the right.
Right here?
Yeah.
Okay.
I always have trouble when I throw out the queen too early.
Yeah, that's something that's usually a big thing. God damn that bishop position. Okay. So, does your, and he pauses a bit, not familiar with the term, Sentai plan on going to try and gather more information anytime in the future?
Hopefully going with I'm going to revert back to my terminology. Prospective pack brother to go research the area and see what would be the best spirit to employ for the implosion device.
Yeah.
See, get the lay of the land in the Tyrolean, and see if it's a city populated area or if it isn't.
Right, because anything to do in the Umbra could very well affect the Tolarian.
Yes, even in an implosion device. Implosion just means you're going to be making a very big hole in the ground, and it might take buildings with it, which is not a good thing.
Yeah.
Knight on the right. To probably should try and screen share. To the first square on the left.
Here?
Yes. But right now we were going to try and go here soon, but right now he's kind of dealing with issues of his people.
Yeah. Yeah, I can understand that. Be nice to know if that Quagen that they made the world he could probably help us see as to what other areas and how they affect one another. See what we can do about this situation. Because there's more than one angle of attack. We just need to choose carefully where and how.
Yeah. Pawn and in between the knight and the queen to the third spot on the left.
Here?
Yes.
Okay.
My prospective pack brother is thinking about using their river gates to try well, he's thinking about sacrificing one and using the implosion device while within the using the river gate to try and bring the wall down from the Dark Umbra.
That could work.
My thing is, his own patrons actually told him, the patron and seers actually have told him to that unlike our means of travel, river gate's just a straight through shot.
Mm-hmm.
In the Dark Umbra, you can't deviate off it. Take your first pawn.
Okay. And pawn will take pawn.
He specified it. His thinking they would be willing to sacrifice one of their river gates to try and get the wall down so we can reconnect our power base with the mainland.
Mm-hmm. That would make sense.
Pawn in front of the rook on the right side, third spot.
Right here?
Yes.
I'll move my white bishop. Check.
Move my queen down for down one spot.
Do I want to sack a bishop? That's a definite piece of advantage. I'll do it. I'll trade bishop for a queen. Check.
Sack your bishop.
Which one are you taking it with? With the king?
I don't. Yeah, because I don't think I can backtrack with the bishop.
Yeah, you can.
Okay.
Take it with the bishop.
Backtrack with the bishop. Yeah. If it is that spirit, he goes. If it is that spirit, though, we just have to get over to it and try and take it down or make it stop doing what it's doing, so the wall can come down safely.
Right. Where do I want to go from here? I think I'll make some humble move. Move my knight out.
Okay. right rook down, down to the third spot.
Here?
Yes.
Castle kingside.
All right. Pawn queen side in front of the knight to the third spot.
Okay.
On the other hand, I'd like to try and figure out why it switch dynamics on it on us now when we could have used such powerful spirit in the wild on our side.
Yeah, that is quite a interesting thing. I don't know why it would do something like that.
But the spirits that the powerful spirits we were talking to about him, uh, when we even mentioned the title Dragon Slayer, they got pissed.
Rightfully so, if it, betrayed like that.
Yeah. Prawn in front of the king, down one.
Here?
Yes. There's just so many factors to this, and a lot of it's just culminated to this point. It's just trying to unravel the whole thing to see what we could do with it, just to solve our current problem.
Mm-hmm. There is quite a lot going into this. Pawn.
Knight on the right side. Damn it. Okay. Square behind your knight next to my pawn.
Here?
Yes.
Hmm.
Take your pawn.
Okay. Pawn will take.
Pawn, take pawns. Bishop, take pawn.
Queen take bishop check.
Move king to move king to the left side.
Here?
Actually, down one square.
Right here?
Yes.
Check.
Actually, that should be checkmate.
Nope,
I'm
you still
blocked.
gotta move. We got one move. Actually, you have two. Back or forward. Along the black.
Okay. Forward.
You can here or here.
Go to the one next to my pawns. Because Queenie's not going to get it that easy.
Right here?
Yeah.
Okay. Check.
To the right.
Would put you in check. You're only spacing forward.
Okay, just go forward with it.
Or actually, nope. Actually, out here.
Yeah.
Check. Can move here or here. I think to the side here by your
Probably to the side looks like it's the best bet.
to the side it is. Check.
Move it diagonally to the right.
Checkmate.
Shit. Not bad. I actually haven't played in a while.
Definitely put up a fight there for a while.
Yeah.
Pull back up. Bam. Is there, guess the only options we have right now is that bomb and trying to find out more about this wall of sorts.
Yeah.
But we have to do it carefully. No one's come back from it, from investigating it. You said you had someone who could investigate it from the Dark Umbra?
I know the equation can do it, and the children of Owl have a ritual that can drop them in the Dark Umbra. Yeah, Sean, you can roll. Roll Guru Lore. I just said something
Oh,
that
no.
should ping you.
He's only got Gruler 1. I'm going to think like Strider gifts and rights that he's not going to be too familiar with. He doesn't have Strider lore. I have heard that they've been able to travel to the Umbra, but by what means, I'm not for certain. You said if right, I wouldn't be surprised.
Yeah.
Do you have a Strider at your set?
Out of character, I don't know.
Hmm.
It's a Glasswalker sept, so out of character, I don't know.
He's asking pretty pointed questions for a mage, like he knows what he's talking about.
Hold on. Would that be perception enigmas or perception empathy?
For
He's knowing more than he should. For someone that just had some indirect dealings.
I'd say empathy, perception empathy.
One success.
He does seem to have a firm grasp of like basic Guru knowledge, like Guru or 1, but it isn't anything out too far outside of that. I mean, he said passing, which Guru Lore 1, either someone taught him or that's more than passing knowledge. But then again, he is also a well-studied mage, so it could be very well
Possibly
that he's simply
kinfolk.
Possibly.
Because kinfolk he would think like kinfolk or cubs would have at least that much
Yeah, that level of
knowledge
knowledge.
of Lord. What tribe are you connected with? You act like kinfolk.
None claimed me. As I've said, I've had interactions with Guru, and I made it my business in order to assist them to learn more.
Ah, okay. You're an interesting will worker. I'll give you that much.
Yeah. I've done many things that many have questioned the intelligence of doing, but I've done it because I have felt it assists the greater good.
Then we
When I
have.
was in
Go ahead.
When I was in the States, I assisted them in dealing with the technocracy. It was mutually beneficial to both of us, and it's part of the reason why I'm here. And some of those dealings have cost me a great deal.
You and me have share a commonality then.
That's good to hear. I
Big
have
smile.
a decent knowledge of the Guru, and I have a decent knowledge of their enemy, Eternal, those that have fallen.
Yeah, that battle really hurt. A lot of us were affected.
Yes, and some of us more than others. My my pattern has been to my knowledge unalterably changed, at least for this life.
You look puzzled. How so?
A subject for another time.
Understood. We all have our haunting scars that we got to deal with from that war.
And now we have a new war.
Yeah. Just when we started rebuilding from the last one, we have another one. Yay!
That seems to be the way it is. I've found, though, that most of the populace here in Asia, they do not play chess. They play Go. I'm not particularly familiar with that game. Though I think it'd be interesting to pick up.
Yeah, I've seen it only played once on a TV show, and it looked very different from chess. When it was described in the show, it actually there's several different styles to playing it. It's just and a whole lot of different moves you got to memorize, and a lot of those moves are different setup than chess.
It's a different way of looking at strategy for sure. It's not so much about how do I want to put it? Taking pieces and pinning down the king. It's about space. It's a very much more dynamic game about controlling space and confining your opponent.
Yeah.
I find it a little bit more difficult.
Yeah. In the show, the lady that was actually teaching her daughter how to play it had a very aggressive style to her play.
Yeah.
That I noticed.
There's a lot of open space and a lot of options. I have to say that I play probably a more defensive style, partially because of my ignorance and partially because there's so much that you have to protect against.
I would have the same style as well. I'm more of the knowledge and healing and rights person than combat than most of my cousins. Don't get me wrong, I'm no slouch in a fight. It's just in an open, all-out war when you have multiple opponents coming at you at once and not a straight-up fight, it's kind of troublesome.
Yeah. It's about... Games like this are definitely games that one who wishes to be a leader should play, because they should realize about the openness of what they're doing. A person who, like yourself, has a task that they have seen themselves to do is like a piece in their arsenal, and they must know how to best deploy it, and they must know how to get the goal they wish to achieve. And And they must also understand that at the same time, those pieces are living people, and that they should not sacrifice them lightly. He's got out of character. Kid's got intelligence 5, so
Yeah, he's catching that. You have a wisdom beyond your age. I assume it was due to the war.
partly it is of my own, and partly it is when you, as in, well, me, as a 11-year-old fledgling man, has seen more about the world, both good and bad, than most people see in a lifetime. By the time you're 13, you will find that that person has become an adult faster than most would think they have. Do you understand?
I understand. Trust me, I can sympathize, but when you're a guru, even 3 years older than 13, still not enough time to be a kid before you become you come into you awaken to the world that's actually there.
When you become a warrior for a cause, you see the battlefield, you see people harmed around you, you see death and the perils of what you struggle for. It is something you, an adult, quickly, and you learn to adapt, or you don't, and you don't succeed.
I think character he knows that you have a guru lore, but that to his mind just basically sounded so predatory it's not even funny. He knows
That
what you're
wasn't his
talking.
intent, but all right.
He knows what you're talking about, but like his wolf, the wolf side of his mind's like that just sounded so predatory that to me. Two successes on perception and empathy.
He wasn't trying to cajole you or be intimidating in any manner. It was just very matter of fact. You learn to survive or you die. And he tried to put it in as the nicest terms as he possibly could,
Yeah.
because it's a very tender subject.
As his situation, his past with the war was is a tender subject for him.
Mm-hmm.
He'll just shrug at that, and I understand that as well. When you're a predatory shapeshifter, you learn to survive and to adapt quickly, even out of war. Out of character, you want to try, I guess, do the exit bit, because I think we just ran out of things to say.
Yeah. And he'll look at the board and start resetting it back. Anytime you wish to speak, my door is open. I wish to resolve the situation as soon as we can. A prolonged fight draws out more victims, and
But
I don't want to see that happen to anyone.
none of us do, especially the ones that were touched by and still have the lingering effects of the past war. And I will be coming by to talk more. And I enjoyed the game. I
I'm
want a
sure I will.
rematch.
I'll be glad to give it to you at any time. I usually don't sleep very well on many nights, so having someone to keep company is always good.
Understandable. Actually, out of character, I forgot to put that flaw on the sheet.
Oh, I was guaranteed it's going to put that on the sheet. That was a no-brainer.
I gotta talk to Ari when he's not in his coma. But yeah. All right. Charlie will get up and shake Michael's hand and uh, excuse himself out. And
Michael will shake his hand and bid him a good evening.
good night, Michael, and hope you sleep well. And now that you have a good look at his eyes, you can, if you want to do a perception alertness, you can.
All right, one sec here. I'll have to turn off the chair to do this. Perception empathy, you said?
Alertness.
Or perception alertness. Alertness. Perception. Okay. One success.
You see the noticeable signs of bags under his eyes. You could tell he's really not lying when he says a lot of us are actually haunted by their events in the world.
Well, he's definitely a kindred spirit in understanding that.
But he'll Charlie will excuse himself out, and there we'll end our scene.
All right, sounds good.